Yeah, tell the story.
Yeah, the story is, I don't remember what it's exactly saying here. Proto Man, Mega Man's brother, has kidnapped Dr. Light. You see jumping away with him there. And,
yeah, seems legit.
yeah, the lore in later Mega Man games is pretty cool. Like in the first ones, you fight some robot masters created by Dr. Wily and then go through Dr. Wily's castle. Then starting from 4, you fight 8 robot masters created by some guy who's totally not Dr. Wily, and then fight that guy. Then in 4, it turns out the first guy was blackmailed by Dr. Wily. In Mega Man 5, it turns out that he was framed by Dr. Wily, and in 6, it turns out he was Dr. Wily in disguise.
Yeah. Mind blown.
Okay, so I'm gonna reset here, playing through the intro video messes up certain memory, which is a pretty weird glitch.
Yeah, manipulating the RNG.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright. So moving on to Mega Man 5. These games are casually very similar to 1 and 2, but there are a few big differences that change the speedrun a lot. In Mega Man 3, the game engine was reworked, so it's no longer possible to do those kinds of zips you saw all over the place in 1 and 2. Later games have a few of them. There's generally like 1 per run or so, but it's not the kind of major focus as it is in the first ones. What's happening with my movement here? Okay. Yeah, also Starman is one of the hardest stages in the run. Yeah, instead of zipping all over the place, we're gonna be sliding all over the place. Sliding is roughly twice as fast as walking, so basically every 2 frames that you could be sliding but aren't, you are losing 1 frame of time overall. The most obvious place where you need to do that is when chaining slides on long platforms, but that's pretty minor, all things considered. The more important thing is that whenever you're jumping, you want to jump as late as possible so you can get as many sliding frames in before it as possible, and then land as early. So if you're going for optimal movement, every jump over a pit is a frame perfect trick. And if you're jump 1 frame late or land 1 frame too early, you just die. So it's very possible I fall into a pit at some point during the run. Also, you're seeing a lot of the Charge Buster. Mega Man 4 introduces charging your basic weapon, and Mega Man 5 has the most powerful version of any Mega Man game. You deal 3 damage with a charge shot, and it has an enormous hitbox, and also goes through every enemy it kills.
Good
you can
fight.
see that the boss fight with it is much faster than killing bosses with Buster in the first games. Also, a neat little trick here. The way low gravity works in the Starman stage is that every 3rd frame you have normal gravity, and the other 2 out of 3 frames you have no gravity whatsoever. And when the ending cutscene starts, the game locks into one of those values, and depending on whether you get no gravity or normal gravity, it's a difference of like a 1.5 seconds in the cutscene. And there's a neat little interaction with how jumps work, where if you do a precisely 1 frame jump, just as the stage is ending, you can get normal gravity guaranteed. Oh, another tricky stage here. There's a lot of these in the beginning of the run. Gravity Man. The gimmick of this stage is gravity flippers. It's pretty annoying to play. Certain things work different when you're in the ceiling. Normally, when you try to slide while you are already sliding, you just nothing happens. Here instead, you just saw I jumped out of the slide for no reason. In the ceiling, that happens. Or was too low. I'm gonna get some safety and a health refill here.
We good, we good.
Also, you're seeing just saw some super arrow usage here. Every Mega Man game has some items that are just movement enabling things. You saw Magnet Beam in Mega Man 1, items 1, 2, and 3 in Mega Man 2. And starting from Mega Man 3, you have Rush, Mega Man's robotic head dog. In Mega Man 5, you start the game with Rush Coil, which is in 5 is the worst version of it in any Mega Man game. It's garbage. We don't use it in the run at all. You get Rush Jet in Gyro Man stage, which we're going to do next. it's pretty decent, but Super Arrow is just obscenely powerful. It's basically all the best properties of every other movement enabling item in any game combined into one, and you can also kill things with it, and you have a ton of energy to use it. So you'll see it on almost every stage. And yet another difference is that you've seen, as I've menued from a weapon to another, we have this fancy full screen weapon selection menu. It's also really slow. Entering and exiting it costs a second and a half at minimum. So you're not gonna see a whole lot of weapon usage during the stages to kill enemies. It's really hard to save that much time with it, with anything, given how good the Mega Buster is in the first place. So most stages you're gonna see me like start with Mega Buster, switch to Super Arrow at some point, then use Super Arrow a lot, and then switch to the boss weakness. And the first screens there you saw me running on Super Arrow. Super Arrow normally uses 2 energy. Supposed to switch earlier here. But while you're standing on the arrow, traveling on it, it will continuously drain your energy. But if you can spend some of the time off of the arrow, you can use less of it. So the tool-assisted speedrun does little hops from the tip of the arrow to the back of it, and then slides into the front back. But that's super hard and isn't that much better than what we do in RTA, which is simply hold right, which causes Mega Man to walk off the end of the arrow and then get flipped back onto it again. In the first screen, like doing that just let me have 1 energy left over for the second screen. You can do that one slightly faster with the extra arrow. In most stages, the arrow energy is really tight, so that at some point there's going to be some long screen which we're completely bypass with 1 long arrow ride, and we're gonna start that with just barely enough energy. And then before it, we might just like, if we have extra arrow, so we might kill some enemies with it to reduce lag or something. Okay, going slightly too fast here. Mega Man 5 is really unforgiving with the boss fights. In the first 2 games you saw, if you shoot the boss while he's in invulnerability frames, the shots will keep traveling through him. So the flash fight you saw in 2 is it's not quite as precise as it looks like. You need to get almost all shots frame perfect, but you have a little bit of leeway, because if you shoot too early, the shot will still be inside the boss's hitbox for a while, waiting for it to come off iframes. But in Mega Man 5, if you shoot too early, you just hit the iframes and nothing happens. It's especially punishing against the Gyro Man, where you're gonna use all your weapon energy, so you're gonna have to finish the fight with Buster if you mess up anything. I'm gonna Crystal Man. Let's tricky first screen here. Okay. What? This ceiling is too low for us to be able to run on the arrow normally, so I gotta just change lights there, mash them. And here we'll also get some rush jet usage in, after using all our super arrow energy first.
Yeah, good beats.
I'm missing so many small things in run, but at least no major time losses so far. Dying is still pretty punishing in the game.
It's going really good.
Here we're gonna pick up an M tank for free. Mega Man 2 introduced E tanks, which you can store and use to refill your health. Later games have some variants of weapon refilling tanks. In Mega Man 5, the M tank refills your health and also all your weapon energy for every weapon, though you can only hold 1 at a time. We're not gonna see that used for a while. But that's gonna see a lot more usage in wild stages. Also, the stomp per kill right before the boss door is really precise. Another unique thing in Mega Man 5, which is actually does not appear in any other later Mega Man games, is that all normal enemies have invulnerability. I don't remember the exact time, it's like 10 frames or something like that. So if you need to mash down an enemy, you need to space out your shots really carefully. Some of the time you can still just mash and it will work out, but that Stomper there, you need to get 4 shots in and it's super precise. What's happening next? Going to Napalm stage. We're gonna see the Tigers here. Tigers have one of the larger regular enemies in the game, and I'm gonna manipulate their movement a little bit. Tigers react to you getting close enough to them or you pressing B. So, for example, this Tiger here didn't react at all because I released a charge shot, but which is just releasing B, which doesn't trigger him. The one I killed with the lemons. Wait, that's too early. Okay, so those drills instantly kill you if you run into them. I started shooting one slide too early. If a third one spawned, would have been just dead.
We're fine, we're fine.
We're fine, we're fine. Am I fine? Do I have enough energy still? Okay, I'm just gonna do it this slow so I don't have to figure out how I'm supposed to manage this screen otherwise.
Let's go.
Changing the gravity here. This is one of the few instances in the game where I do actually use a weapon. Gravity hold is obscenely powerful, it just kills everything on screen instantly. Well, just damages some things. But even then, you can just do multiple hits. It's actually faster to do the stage with by switching early to Crystal, but that's super hard, so basically almost nobody does that. Wait, what? Okay, never mind me.
Those noises help.
Doing a little. Okay.
It's a really cool fight.
Yeah. So that's one of the nicer fights in the run. Generally, boss fights are much better in the early Mega Man games. So they're faster, they're more interesting in many ways. Especially the more punishing iframes make them much more annoying to play in later games. Enablement is one of the better ones here. Yeah, I have more things to talk about than I have time to. I think I got interrupted with a couple things at that stage. Okay, Stoneman first screens are really tight. I'm gonna either look like an idiot for going for this, or it's gonna look really cool. I got the first one. I forgot to shoot.
Oh, that mashing is really tight.
Okay, yeah, I got one kill. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
So normally you just jump over that, and actually killing them doesn't saves very little time overall, but it's not quite as hard as it looks. And then you're gonna go for some cool things.
Fighting that letter as a castle was.
Yeah. So I haven't mentioned letters at all so far. In every stage I've been collecting one of these letters. You can see in the weapon menu they spell out Rockman 5, and when you collect all of them you gain Beat, Mega Man's robot bird companion. So this is the first game Beat appears in. It's basically a super weapon. You summon him and then he flies around you and automatically homes the enemies. Wait, did I just mess up my energy? I don't think I can have enough to kill that guy. Okay, yeah. Good call not killing him.
Good
So
stuff.
here's one of those long super arrows. Used all my energy before it. Got to fly over it here. That doesn't actually save quite as much time as it looks like, since the game is slowing down a lot there. Because we're going fast, getting a lot of enemies on screen at once and not killing them. We're causing a lot of lag. Lag management is a huge factor in Mega Man 3, 4, and 5. Like, as a rule of thumb, whenever you see like a noticeable slowdown, you're losing a shit ton of time. If you're playing on an emulator with a lag frame counter enabled, you can see something like half a second lost in one screen without even look like the game slowing down. Okay, didn't get the frame perfect slide here. Good. But anytime there's visible slowdown, you're just
Happy Stone.
Yeah, getting some good patterns here. So if I were to do that long screen, like without Super Arrow, we would be killing some of those enemies and getting several seconds worth of lag less. So it's closer, but I mean it's still a big time save. But Alright, Chartman stage coming up. In Chartman, there's actually an opportunity to switch to Super Arrow on reaction if I get a weapon energy refill from enemies at a certain point. It's the only case of that in the run that we routed in. Otherwise, we just ignore drops. Anything we get is just time loss.
In this stage, we have the infamous chicken room.
Yeah, chicken room coming up. In chicken room, we switch to crystal just to deal with it, which is pretty weird. Crystal is otherwise a pretty unremarkable weapon, but the reason it's good here is that this room is full of enemies that you normally can't hit with most weapons. Like, if I were to shoot those rats with lemons, they would just go over them. Being able to kill them. Okay, so here I'm gonna. Okay, I slowed down and I still failed to react to that. Although you have no idea how annoying that letter is.
Yeah,
you can't jump out of a slide into it.
Yeah, it's really tight.
For some reason, your jumps are slightly shorter out of a slide. And I forgot to charge again. One underrated aspect of the game is remembering when to charge and when to not. Since when you're starting out, you just
nice.
You just charge everywhere. Then you start avoiding it to conserve lag and whatever, and at some point it just becomes totally arbitrary. You just have to remember.
And now the best weapon in the game.
Okay, starting at
Look at this beauty.
Oh, nice. Good fight, good fight. Yeah, so the basic strat in this fight is that you shoot the stones, and they spend a whole lot of time searching the screen. So you pause to eliminate the stones that didn't hit, so you can shoot again. And even though pausing loses you 1.5 seconds, it's still worth it. But if I place my shots extremely precisely, I can either have them all hit Chartman when he's in invulnerable frames, and I can get rid of all stones that way. Or while he's doing his cold shooting pattern, I can shoot early so that they spin on screen while he's invulnerable and hit at the tail end of the Stones of Lifetimes. So from Chartman we get Charge Kick, which you can actually shoot with. It just adds this kind of invulnerability to your slide. It's a really cool weapon. If you watch speedruns of Mega Man 5 ROM hacks, you'll see a ton of Charge Kick usage. But the problem in Rig, since a lot of those add the fast weapon switching, but it's just really hard to find spots where it's worse as a second and a half, so it doesn't see much use in the main game. Okay, failed. Let's see if we can get the second screen.
Okay, let's get the second one. Nice. There, nice. And now we gotta do the boat skip. Yeah,
okay.
Nice.
Right there.
Good stuff.
Okay, I didn't get to explaining that before going into it, but we'll have a lot of time during this section here. So, in that section, you're intended to use the big bubbles to scroll through screens, the one that I used as a backup, and then use the small ones to like traverse from one big bubble to another. If you jump onto a small bubble before it's scrolling out, nothing happens generally. The timing to get the scroll on a small bubble is actually really tight. I messed up it on the first screen. On the second screen, I got up there early, since if you press super arrow precisely, you can stand on it and wait for the arrow to pick you up from it. And in this section, the way cutscenes work in Mega Man games is that they only start when you're standing on ground and not doing anything. So if you're sliding when you're supposed to hit the cutscene trigger and then jump directly on the slide and manage to exit the screen before the cutscene happens, you can bypass it completely. You see it in Gemini Man in Mega Man 3 and also here. What was supposed to happen there is that I would have lost control slightly before the boat there that I went over, and then I get a little tiny cutscene where Mega Man walks into a boat and I would be using the boat during this part. It's not actually a huge time save, but it's just annoying mostly. There are little cutscenes in the beginning and in the end where Mega Man just really slowly rides the boat. And also, I can do those sprite despawn by walking off screen and use charge shots. Okay. So you might have seen me like do some slide canceling and stuff in the boss corridor, the short corridor right before a boss room. It just happens that the boss corridor is almost precisely the length of 3 slides. So if you just try to do normal movement, your 3rd slide is gonna end right before the boss door, and it's like in practice it's kind of random whether you end up walking or sliding through the boss door, since it depends on whether you get the super clean movement or it just gets a few walking frames there. And in some of the bosses it actually matters whether you slide or walk through the door. If you walk through, you start the fight with your back against the boss door. If you slide, you get a few pixels further. In Wayman there, those few pixels mean the difference of being able to get 2 hits in the beginning or not. Okay. Rush jumps are actually really underrated also. The way summoning Rush Jet works is that when you hit B, Rush will start teleporting from the top of the screen. And when he hits your vertical position, he will like expand or whatever, like that. So if you want to do these jumps where you summon Rush and then immediately jump on top of him, you need to do a sort of a roll from B into A, and the timing there depends on your height on the screen. Because if you're higher on the screen, the Rush will reach your position faster, so you can jump earlier. If you're very low, you need to do a bit of a delay after hitting B. And
So tight. Get in there, Mega Man.
it's not actually this tight, but yeah, it's you do miss them occasionally. It's not totally free like it kind of looks like.
We good, we good.
So here I'm gonna do a bit of a fancy ending for this fight. You could do like this kind of wait. So, okay, never mind. I messed up. You could do that kind of jumping and triggering and shooting through the whole fight. But what I wanted to do is stop doing at a certain point, intensely take damage, then slide to the corner, have him follow me, and finish by shooting while the boss was in the corner. And it reduces a lot of lag in 2 ways. I get the last wave shot into a wall, so it will immediately disappear after the kill instead of like sliding all the way through the room. And also, if possible, I want to kill every boss near the corner, which means their explosion bubbles disappear from the screen earlier, also causing less lag. So the game's difficulty picks up quite a bit in the castle stages. You're gonna be seeing a lot more spikes and bottomless pits and such in here from now on. Here's another example of a room where for a long time we used to just get a charge here and have 1 charge shot hit through all those enemies there. But it takes a bit of time to set that up and it causes a bunch of extra lag. And it turns out it's actually a little bit faster to just use lemons there. I hate this screen so much.
Still alive.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're not going to die there, it's just annoying. Sliding extends you a bit across ledges. So if you're sliding from a ledge, you can jump later than when walking. So the first jumps there aren't that hard, but in the middle, like charging up the second shot on the thumper screen, you can't just do a normal slide there in the middle, or you won't have enough time to charge, since oh yeah, so the charge doesn't add up while you're sliding. You need to be either walking or jumping or whatever. And if you try to just do the jump from walk, it's one of those tight corner jumps you saw in Mega Man 1. Okay, so there we used the beat for the first time. And it makes the fight really boring. It's actually possible to just skip getting it altogether. It's very close, which route is faster. Basically, Beatless has a faster optimal time, but it makes the final boss of the game far more RNG dependent. And wait, what? The expected time is very similar to both after some recent developments. Wait, I'm not supposed to have Super Arrow here. What am I doing? Okay. Okay, some of the biggest... wait, what?
Ooh,
Okay, so
nice backup.
yeah, that's pretty tight here. So some of the biggest arrows in game in this stage. This is a really long stage and has a few of these really long opener screens. Do I have enough energy? That section in particular is very easy to end up using more energy than intended.
This also has this is a really cool trick here.
I gotta check my weapon energy there before that thumper room.
This is a really nice looking thing.
Yeah, this is a pretty cool pair of arrows. Lower one to get underneath the block in the middle there, and top one to get over the spikes. So here's the first M-Tank refill. Mostly we're doing this just to get more super arrows in. What the fuck am I doing? Okay, let's ignore that. And here's another tight one. This should be good.
Under.
Yep.
Nice.
Also, I turned around there because you can be like 1 pixel too high, in which case you still get under the first guy, but you get hit by the one in the end. So if you face left there, it doesn't really cost you anything, but if you did get a too high placement, you'll get knocked right instead of left from hitting that enemy, and instead of just falling into the pit, you'll just get knocked onto the platform there. So this boss is weak to Super Arrow, which we obviously are not going to spend on him, so instead we're using a secondary weakness, dealing just 2 damage a shot. Dark 4 is a bit of a gimmick stage. It's easier to show than explain. But you'll see these brown blocks there. I want to kill them, shoot them in very specific patterns to execute a... get as few of these bosses as possible. Oh, nice.
Pretty good.
Wait, what? Why are menus so hard?
Menus are impossible.
Yeah, so you can actually only reach 5th block from the bottom, but at the very end there, you can stand on a platform which is a bit from the bottom of the screen, higher than the bottom of the screen, and jump right as the screen is about to drop and reach the 6th one.
Oh my
for the
god.
final set of blocks. Yeah, so
look at this
here's
drama.
a real brother man.
Look at this drama.
Exposing Dr. Wily's imposter. Okay.
Nice.
So mostly you just stand there and let Beat do his thing, but if you get some bad patterns, you will need to dodge some shots there. Also, using Beat isn't quite as brain dead as it looks like. He'll only start moving if you are also still. So you need to be either standing on ground or be precisely at the apex of your jump for him to do anything. We'll use him once more in the run in the very end against Wily Capsule. And that's actually a really technical fight, really easy to mess up. I need to be careful to position myself almost perfectly, since to get 2 hits a cycle there, I need to not be too close so that Beat hits iframes, and not be too far so it takes too long to travel. And I also need to be either on the ground or at the apex of my jump when Beat reaches me, so he'll start moving again. But we'll get to that later. So here we are finally at Dr. Wily's castle. We're gonna have 2 more long and difficult stages, and then a refight stage that doesn't have much of anything else, and a final boss fight stage which doesn't have much of anything else. We're also gonna pick up M-Tanks in both of these stages. Get more of that super arrow action in. Wait, what? That's close enough. Wily 1 stage will also have the only instance of mashing required in this game. Like most of the time, as I mentioned before, enemies have iframes. Mashing really fast doesn't help you kill them any faster. You need to space out your shots. But in the Crusher section coming up here, there's gonna be some. I'm gonna be going through some breakable blocks, and you need pretty decent mashing to get to all of those. Also, I don't want to kill the bottom one, so I can slide on them. Okay, the last one's pretty close.
And you can jump. Yeah, in there.
So that's another example of even though the turrets have iframes, in practice I can just mash them out, get them waste some shots on the iframes, still get the kills. It's more comfortable than switching between fast matching for the blocks and timing them for those. Ah.
Ooh. So close.
Okay, so he's only vulnerable when one of these bottom platforms are out. Optimally, I wouldn't have taken the shot in the beginning. The fight would have ended before I had to scramble for the last shot. It's not a super hard fight if it goes well, but a lot of things can go south really quickly if you do mess up something. Well, as you saw there, the screen becomes pretty hectic. The blocks aren't where you expect them to be. You get the guys falling on top of the screen. So Wily 2 is the only water stage in Mega Man 5. There was a Starman stage which was low gravity, but slightly different. Because in these games, if you're sliding while underwater or while there's a sprite on top of you, like in Gyro Man stage, there were a couple of spots where you slide on a ladder or might slide on. Wait, what am I doing? Okay, never mind me. Yeah, so if I press A while sliding underwater, instead of jumping out, just nothing happens. So I have to be careful where I slide while in there. There are a couple of spots where I attempt to time my slides perfectly so that they end exactly where I want them to. And in one other spot, I just manually cancel it by turning around. It's kind of a stupid thing to practice if you only play this game, it doesn't save much, but Mega Man 6 is slightly different. In it you can jump out slides. Pressing A while sliding just stops the slide, so slide cancel. You just slide cancel all over the place in there, so it kind of becomes basic movement. So if you've learned that, you might as well do the same in these other games. Okay. So Q9. This guy can open these doors with 4 different timings in the beginning, and then in this second pattern, he just keeps them open. What? No! Stop hitting D-pad! Okay, it's rare to mess up a fight that bad. The way Gyro works is that you shoot it, and then if you press up or down while it's on the screen, it changes direction. If you're not paying attention, it's easy to hit those by mistake. Well, that happens. Wily 3. Not much going on here. In the beginning, we're gonna fight Napalm Man again, and after that, we're gonna do the Z-Power, Clip, or whatever in this game. We're gonna go through a wall and instantly fight the boss of the stage, skipping the other 7 refights. So in the Napalm Man fight, there are 2 patterns he can do. If you stand close to him after his jump, he'll throw bombs, which I want to avoid. And if I'm far away, he'll shoot those missiles, which I'm manipulating him to do.
Nice.
Okay. Wait, is my timing correct? Okay. So
this is a really good, cool boss.
So this guy has 3 different timings. So if he hasn't come down by the first 2, I'll know I'm getting the last one, and I will know exactly where it's gonna end.
Nice. Nice.
And in that case, I can switch to super arrow and get a double hit in. It's actually still faster to,
Great fight.
to just get the shortest patterns and do single hits on those. But I mean, if you do get the long pattern, it's obviously much faster to get the double in. And it does make it faster than the middle pattern. Coming up here, we're gonna first white Wily Machine, then Wily Capsule. Wily Machine is one of the scariest fights in the game. He does a lot of damage and has a couple of patterns that are hard to dodge if I get them. So that's the main thing I got the E-Tank for in Wily 1. Okay, I didn't get the kill, so I'm pretty low on health. So it's more dangerous than usual. Okay, so this suck pattern is the really dangerous. Okay, I'm just gonna play it safe. If you get close to him while he's doing that, it's really hard to avoid getting sucked in, while also getting your shots in. And then some stupid bird action.
Let's go, stupid bird.
So not only is this pretty hard to do, you also see this bird circling around here while waiting for Capsule to spawn. And if you happen to have the Capsule spawn while the bird is at the very farthest spot from you, it will throw your timings off pretty bad and can screw you over. So this is not entirely RNG free. But it's pretty rare. I'm gonna hope it doesn't happen. It's actually more likely that I'll mess it up on my own because of that. Okay, we should be good now. And yeah, time coming up on the final hit.
Now.
There. Nice. Wait, that's not a PB, is it? I don't think it is.
Is that BB?
Yeah, I think mine is mid 35. I got one pretty recently. I don't even remember what it is exactly.
Pretty nice.
I don't think I PB'd, but it's not that far.
Not any big mistakes. Pretty nice run.
Yeah, also my PB isn't great. Like, that's a big part of it. 7 seconds away.
Easy game.
Easy.